Hey guys, this is question MM023 of the 2017 Maths Methods Sharpen Study Guide. How to, really how to deal with quartic graphs and their factors. So we basically just need to look at this graph and try and figure out which equation sort of matches up to that graph, just using the intercept. So we have no other information except that one intercept is A, one intercept is B, and one intercept is C. Now we can see that the B intercept occurs at a turning point, which means it's going to be an x squared factor, which all of these are. So that's good. Now, firstly, we can actually recognize that this quartic is negative because it's in an M shape. And a positive quartic would be in almost a W shape, but this is negative, which means that the coefficient of x cubed, or x to the power of 4, sorry, needs to be negative. Which automatically gets rid of B and D, so we can cross those out and they're not going to be either of our answers. Now, the easiest way to explain this is to maybe give A, B, and C just arbitrary values. So let's call A equals -3, B equals -1, and C equals 3, for argument's sake. Now, our factors in this case need to be -3 at the front because that's just, it doesn't really matter what that is in this case, but all of them are -3. It needs to be negative regardless. If A was -3, then this would need to be x plus 3 because this intercept is represented by the negative version of this, which would have an intercept at -3 there. X plus 1 squared would give us our B value, and x take 3 would give us our C value. Now, if we have x take A here, and A is -3, then that's going to result in x take away -3, which will result in x plus 3, which is exactly what we want. So x minus A is our first correct factor, which means that E cannot be our correct answer. Now, the only difference between A and C is this x plus C and x take C factor at the end. However, if C is equal to +3, then x plus C would result in x plus 3 factor, which would actually represent an x-intercept on the negative side of the axis, which is obviously not where C occurs. So A is crossed out and we're left with C. So all you really need to know and remember is that the factors in this form always need to be a minus, regardless of where they sit on the axis, because A is already negative, so putting it into here creates a positive, which represents the right axis. So our answer is C.